Well, with us right now is Juanita Skillman from United. We thank you for coming in the last moment. Appreciate it. So as I said, on Tuesday, you guys had your meeting.
Yes, we did.
And ran about, it was kind of long, 3 hours, and for you guys it was long, 3 hours and 35 minutes or so.
And then you add the closed session after
Yeah.
that. It was 5:30 before we got out.
So I know you got a couple things you want to talk about. You have your badge on. Let's talk about the Bus Buddy system for a moment.
Henri Tong from our board and I both went to the Bus Buddy orientation, which was yesterday. There were 68 people, which I was so pleased in the pouring rain, that came out that wanted to be bus buddies. And this is going to be an ongoing training program. I know Janie Durrell has been working on it too, riding the buses, because we felt as your directors, we needed to know as much as possible about the bus system and the new way it works, et cetera. And so we got the training, and we're going to be riding the buses intermediately to try to help people. I think it's a great program.
Great. And then I would assume that maybe in the future you have another training day for other people.
Oh yeah, there's going to be one next Wednesday at 1
Okay.
o'clock, and then there'll be more. They're going to have the whole community is divided into 4 parts now, and they're going to have them by section so that you learn just what the bus routes are in your particular section.
All right, very
So
good.
It'll work out really well, I think.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So a couple things you want to talk about today, and one of them that was discussed at the meeting, I should say, about having a third person.
Yes. Our treasurer presented a motion to add an additional occupant fee in the amount of $90 for each additional occupant over 2. And people say, why over 2? All of our financials are based on 2 people in a unit, even if there's only 1. I live alone. But all of our electricity and water and sewage and everything is based on the premise that there are 2 people.
Okay.
And so a third person does add cost to those. And so that's why we put this in. We had asked Betty Parker, and she had done a wonderful review for us. In fact, there were 3 different charts that we could choose from of what we wanted to do. If we wanted to go with the straight 25%, which is what GRF does of their fee, which is what we ended up wanting to do, or if we wanted to do just 50% or 75%. Anyway, there were different ones, and those were chosen. And the other thing that it hopefully will help with is the parking, because a third person in a unit does have to park their car somewhere.
Right.
We only were built for 1 car per unit, and it's been a real struggle.
Yeah.
We went from 1 car to 1 car and a golf cart, and many of our carports will accommodate that. If you pull your golf cart in first and plug it in, and you can pull your car in after
That's
that.
right.
But you can't get 2 cars or 3 cars or 2 golf carts and all those in, so that's why that. Now this will be on a 30-day member notification, so if you have things to say about it or you want questions or whatever, in the next 30 days you can come to a board member and ask, or you can come to our next meeting in February, when this was just an endorsement of it, when the resolution will finally be passed. We hope.
Fantastic.
We also had a resolution to deactivate cable services at delinquent members or shareholders units. We've had a very loose system with GRF, but we have to notify them, and it had been when they were 2 months behind in their assessments, and it doesn't always get done right away, so we wanted to tighten that up a little.
Okay.
And so the new resolution basically says anybody that is more than 60 days in arrears of their assessment will have their TV turned off until they cure it, until they bring it up to date. So that's something we've had in place, but we were just tweaking it to make it easier for GRF, as a matter of fact. And then another thing that we did was we're looking at the Monterey-style buildings, the ones that the original construction, when they were built 50 years ago, they were classified and recorded with the county, and this is an important part. It's not just a decision on our part, as a 1-bedroom and den. And they've been selling them as a 2-bedroom. And of course you get more money for a 2-bedroom than you do a 1-bedroom, et cetera. But one of the problems and why we had to add that clause that it had to be original construction, because if people enclosed their patio and took out the window in that den and made it just a bedroom. It does have a
Right.
closet, but it doesn't have an egress, and so
Oh,
it
okay.
can't count as a bedroom, and so it's still a one bedroom. So it has to be the original construction. The patio is not enclosed, and there is a window to the outside.
Okay.
So we gave that to staff. We said, let's look at it. Let's see what needs to be done in the way of recordation with the county. How do we change this? We endorsed making it a 2-bedroom unit, but that's just step one. There are
Okay.
other things that need to be done, and we gave it to staff to work
Okay.
on that. And then we did put the non-smoking policy through, and I believe last time I was here, because this came
Yeah,
out
you
of
did
my
talk
committee,
about that,
we
yeah.
talked about the non-smoking policy, and that was unanimous. We're really pleased with that. Some of the other things that came up were we had a wonderful report from Steve Leonard on our solar project,
Mm-hmm.
which basically is finished. It was done the end of December, and it was on time and literally
that's
on
great.
budget. We are now just waiting for SCE to give us our permission to operate, POA.
Okay.
And that should be done in the next week or two. The inspector comes out and says, yes, everything was done correctly and there. So that's all we're waiting for, and we'll be able to flip the switch on that. And that will help to lower the electricity charges for our common areas. And we have to keep reminding people this
Right,
has nothing
exactly.
to do with your individual unit. We have a very large bill for our common areas, for our laundry rooms, for our breezeways, for our carports, our outside areas, those kinds of things. And that's what this is going to help. So we're really pleased to see that that's going through. Our president talked about the director training that's coming up on the 26th.
Right.
And I want all of our constituents to know that is an open meeting. You may come to that if you wish. I don't believe it's televised, but I'm not
Excuse me.
sure.
Pardon me. No, I don't think that
But it is
no.
an open meeting if you
Right.
are interested to see. The morning will be corporate members, all boards.
Okay.
And we're going to go over things like Robert's rules and do's and don'ts and ethics for directors. And Betty Parker is going to give us an update on budget planning and how to read a balance sheet and all kinds of things that directors need to know.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, United is coming back, and they're going to have a separate meeting where we're going to do strategic planning of goals and objectives. What do we want to do in the next year? We have a lot of projects that we finished up this year, and some that are ongoing into next year, and we want to prioritize and get those in order and that kind of thing. So that will be done in the afternoon. And trying to think if there was anything else. Sorry, I'm not as well
No,
prepared
that's
this
okay,
morning
because you
as
came in
I would
at
like to
a
be.
last moment, so we appreciate
But-
that. Let me ask you once again on
Sure.
the Bus Buddy. When is the next training, and do people have to go to multiple trainings or just
Well,
one?
no, like I said, we had 68 people and we got
Okay.
a beginning, but there's a lot of changes that are being made from
Okay.
input to the transportation department. And that new schedule, which they gave us yesterday, will take effect a month from now, the middle of February,
Okay.
February 13th. And so we're trying to get people used to what it's going to be and how it's going to be done. Next Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I believe, in Clubhouse 1,
Okay.
they have their regular monthly bus training meeting, and they will also be giving out buttons and people
Okay.
who want to be bus buddies, signing them up. And we get addresses and email addresses, and so in the next few weeks, they're going to be having special meetings by area so that
Okay.
you learn what the buses are in your area, and we ride them to see what the route is and how long it takes and all of those kinds of things, so that hopefully we can be a bus buddy and
All
we
right.
can help our constituents to do
And
a
I know
better
that
job.
information is online and updated as well. All right, very
So
good.
anyway, that was
I
doing
think that's
really
a great
good.
program.
Oh, I do too. I was really pleased with that. So I am not a regular bus rider, but I may become one.
Okay.
I was really, really pleased to see what they are doing.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I'm sure Lori comes on or Beth and talks about this, that I thought was just fascinating is all of our seniors don't have cell phones.
Right.
And so they are buying a bunch of just the, what you call them, a burner or whatever, the very
Yeah,
simple cell phone. It'll only have one number on it, and that will be to the transportation department. And so if you get on a bus and you go to Staters, and you don't have a cell phone to call for a return ride, they will give you one of these loaners.
Oh,
and
really?
then you can there. So but you go to a
Interesting.
doctor's office and you think,
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for an hour. But the doctor sees you right away, and 20 minutes later, you're out twiddling your thumbs
Yeah.
and waiting for another bus because you had told them to come back and pick you up in an hour. So you'll be able to call in, and they'll be able to adjust their schedules. All of our bus drivers have two-way radios, and we can get to them. And I just think that's a fabulous thing
Yeah.
for some of our senior citizens who do not carry cell phones.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't realize that. So the bus drivers will have those with them, and
The
then
bus
so
drivers have their radios with them,
Okay.
and we then dispatch or the transportation department can call into them and say so-and-so is at Dr. Jones's
Okay.
office and needs a pickup, and so they'll pick them up on the next way around.
Okay, but where will the resident get the loaner phone from?
From the bus driver.
Oh, from that's okay.
From the
that's what I
bus
mean.
driver. When you get off the bus
They'll
and you
carry a
say,
few with them.
I don't have a cell phone, I can't call you when this is over, they'll give you one, and when you get back on the bus, you got to give it back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a free phone for everybody. And as I say, the only number that will be programmed in there is the transportation department number.
Okay. All right.
So I think that will work very well.
I think that's a really great idea. Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Our President Ross stressed the importance of, he's now serving on the Traffic Hearings Committee.
Okay.
And he made quite a point about adhering to traffic rules. And even when there is a fine, we need to have those fines paid. People think, I'm just going to ignore it.
Right.
Well, first of all, they do get interest put on
Yes.
them. But secondly, even though it's not your monthly assessment, we do look at that when
Right.
they're there. So he was really asking people to, number one, drive safely,
Yeah,
don't get a
exactly.
violation, and number two, pay your fines easily on time. So, and then of course, all of us had to say goodbye to Kim Taylor.
Right, exactly,
Who
yeah.
has been such a mainstay in ours as secretary for the board. I work with her so closely, and whenever I have a question, she knows the answer. She's got so much up here that
Yeah, she
from
does.
all the years that
Yeah.
she's been in the village, and she knows, yes, you can do this, no, you can't do this, this takes 30 days, this doesn't take 30 days.
Right.
This is how we do it, so she will be sorely missed.
Yeah, definitely. And we wish her well, but yes, you're right. She definitely will be.
Right.
Well, good luck to her.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My
And-
pleasure.
and,
always available to
all right.
update you on United.
And we'll see you again soon on one of the committees or whatever.
Tuesday, I'm coming back to talk about the town hall.
Very good.
Yeah, I serve on media communication for GRF, and my subcommittee is the town hall meetings. And
Yes,
so
and that'll be next Thursday as
We
well.
ha-
So
no.
I'll be right. The 20. No, that's
it's the
after
26th.
That,
So I'm coming in
26th.
on Tuesdays before.
Right.
Because we're doing something different this year, or this time. We're going to have an email address and a phone number where if you aren't going to make the meeting, and perhaps you're homebound, but you have questions that
Right.
you would like to put to Brad Hudson, you can call them in or email them in, and we will take those and give them to him when he's in the question answer period after his initial
Okay.
talk. And that's kind of different, but we've heard from a lot of our people who say, I can't get out,
Right.
I can't do that, I want to know, but I have a question. So this will open it up to the whole community.
All right. Good.
That's it.
Thank you again. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. It's going to be dry. It's
Yes,
going to be
it
nice.
will. Be a nice change. All right. We'll be right back.